Tonight, Toronto police prepare for a weekend of protests.
I want to be very clear that we will not tolerate any intimidation, harassment, or hate-motivated behavior.
Expect an enhanced police presence and numerous road closures as more than a dozen rallies and other events get set to take over the downtown core. Plus,
these four amazing young adults were fourth-year students.
Tragedy in Kingston. 4 cadets are dead after their vehicle plunges into the water near Royal Military College. The latest in the investigation. And
Police go! Woo!
They're going to get past round 2, guaranteed.
Leafs fever, the Buds ending their regular season with a big win tonight, and we now know who they'll be facing as they head into the playoffs on Monday. Good evening, I'm Kelda Yoon. Toronto police are preparing for a very busy weekend. More than a dozen demonstrations and other events are expected in the downtown core, prompting road closures and an enhanced police presence. Natalie Collada has all the details.
Toronto police are preparing for a busy weekend full of protests, warning today of road closures and an increased police presence downtown.
We ask for your patience, and we will work to safely manage large volumes of cars and people throughout the city.
An estimated 14 rallies are expected to flood the streets of Toronto this weekend. Raymer didn't announce any specific closures or protest areas. Police have heard concerns about hate speech. The chief says they're ready.
While the Toronto Police Service will always support peaceful demonstration, I want to be very clear that we will not tolerate any intimidation, harassment, or hate-motivated behavior aimed at specific communities.
In a statement today, Mayor John Tory backed that up. I support the charter and it guarantees the right to free speech and free assembly. However, as a city, we cannot accept any instances of discrimination, hate speech, or incitement of violence that takes place at the expense of other people's safety. Words of support, but advocates say more is needed.
We need concrete actions, and we need national leadership and provincial leadership to make sure that the hateful voices that are out there, that are trying to divide us, that are trying to other those people who aren't white, these people are shut down in a very decisive way.
In addition to on-duty police officers, police will deploy officers from its hate crimes unit, as well as officers who speak multiple languages, to make sure they can hear and read any messages that are disseminated at the protests. Natalie Collada, CBC News, Toronto.
Toronto's police chief is not expecting any protests linked to the Rolling Thunder demonstration happening in Ottawa this weekend. Now, this is the scene in the city's downtown tonight near the Rideau Centre. You can see a large crowd gathered there. Now, Ottawa police saying some people in the crowd did become aggressive and several arrests were made. It's all raising fears of another Freedom Convoy-style occupation. Tom Perry has more.
Welcome to Ottawa. You're in the right place. You're doing the right thing.
Echoes of the truckers' convoy and a sense of deja vu in downtown Ottawa.
I'll be here on this hill fighting until, if I have to die doing it, so be it.
Protesters once again rolling in with a familiar message.
I think it's about both still, about the vaccine mandate and also about Trudeau has to go.
Some promising not to overstay their welcome.
I'm hoping that they let us do our thing as easy as we can, enjoy our company, and be gone.
Ottawa police taking no chances with backup from the Ontario Provincial Police, the RCMP, and others. Protesters barred from bringing their vehicles into an exclusion zone around Parliament Hill and the National War Memorial.
You want to come to the nation's capital peacefully, you're more than welcome. If you want to come and act like an idiot, you're not welcome, and we're going to deal with them.
The city looking to avoid a replay of this winter when protesters set up camp on city streets and refused to leave. That occupation lasted more than 3 weeks, the memories still fresh for people who live and work downtown.
Definitely from everyone I talk to, there's a lot of anxiety and fear surrounding what's going to happen.
Jason Commandat owns a bike shop near Parliament Hill. The past 2 years have been a rough ride, he says, and this latest protest isn't making things any smoother.
We had at least 15 appointments booked this weekend for people to come in for bike purchases and service, and every single one of them have been canceled.
Tonight, protesters have moved down to this street beside a shopping mall in downtown Ottawa. Police have been advancing up the road trying to clear the way. Tomorrow, the plan is for protesters on motorcycles to ride through the city on a route set out by police. City officials are hoping that by Sunday this is all wrapped up and that, unlike last time, the protesters go home. Tom Perry, CBC News, Ottawa.
Students and staff at Royal Military College of Canada in Kingston are mourning the sudden deaths of 4 cadets. Now, just one day before the end of the term, these 4 young men just about to graduate when they were killed in an incident in the early hours of the morning. Emergency crews were called after a vehicle went into the water off Point Frederick Peninsula. Now, that area is just east of downtown. It's part of Canadian Forces Base Kingston. Jorge Barrera is in Kingston tonight with more on the lives lost and how the community is coping.
The aftermath of a tragedy pulled from the waters along the campus shore of the Royal Military College in Kingston, Ontario.
Kingston firefighters were in the water. It appeared that they were taking out multiple victims. There was approximately 4 or 5 EMS units.
Lucas Mulder saw the aftermath of the crash and the desperate efforts to revive victims.
From the looks of it, when I was standing here, it looked like there were first responders giving CPR to the victims.
Little is known about what happened off Point Frederick.
These 4 amazing young adults were 4th-year students.
Commodore Jose Kurtz is commandant of RMC. She said the military community is grappling with these losses.
The Royal Military College is a university like any other Canadian university, but it's a small university. We pretty much all know each other. I live here. I see those young people every day. And so 4 at a time, under such circumstances, it's tough.
She confirmed the incident happened at 2 a.m. when a vehicle plunged into the water, leaving 4 dead, all about to graduate. Their names? Officer Cadets Jack Hogarth, Andreas Salick, Andre Honchu, Broden Murphy. Murphy was about to join the Air Force. The others were destined for the Army.
To hear that we've lost 4, future officers, it's just heartbreaking. Eric
Wainwright owns a bike shop in the city and often rents electric bikes to cadets.
Kingston is a city, but it's a small town in some ways as well. So, this will cut to the quick.
Condolences, too, from Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, writing, "My heart breaks for the families and friends of the 4 officers cadets. To all who knew them, we're here for you."
Our Jorge Barrera reporting from Kingston. Now back in our city, Toronto police are investigating the latest murder after a man was found shot inside a car near the Queensway and Windermere. Ali Chiasson has the latest.
Gunfire rang out in bursts. Neighbors along Swansea Mews said they heard 7 to 8 gunshots, a pause, and then 3 more.
It's not good to hear that.
Neighbors looked out of their window and saw shell casings, but no victim. Instead, around the corner on the Queensway, a car riddled with bullets had hopped the curb. The shooting victim, a man in his 30s, tried to drive off as he was shot, but didn't get far. He had no vital signs when police arrived.
So I'm near to your house. I don't feel good with that.
It happened just before 10 o'clock last night. Paramedics rushed him to hospital, where he later died. Many of the neighbors around here are fearful to speak on camera. Police are hoping they speak to them about what they heard, saw, or know about what might have led up to this shooting. Security camera footage should provide useful evidence as to the direction of the shooter or shooters as they sped away from the scene. The victim's family has requested privacy. We're told the victim's brother was killed in a shooting at the same complex almost 9 years ago. Police have not yet released a suspect description. Ali Chiasson, CBC News, Toronto.
That wasn't the only fatal shooting in the GTA last night. Peel police are investigating a murder in Brampton.
What we do know at this point is that the victim is a 22-year-old man from Brampton. He was, I guess he was in a vehicle on the roadway in a neighborhood setting, and when he was shot.
The shooting taking place around 10 last night near Sandalwood and Chinguacousy Road. So far, no information on a suspect has been released. Anyone who has security or dashcam video from the area is asked to contact Peel Police. All right, time now for a first look at your forecast. For that, we go to the Weather Network's Kim McDonald. And Kim, a gorgeous sunny day, a light jacket kind of day out there.
It was beautiful. What a way to end April. And Saturday, just the same. So I'm glad I can bring a little good news to the newscast. We do have a bit of a cool evening, though, single digits, and that's what happens when you have clear skies. And since we are at the end of the month, I just wanted to show you this. On average, we get about 5 centimeters of snow in the month of April. We got 8.6 centimeters. So if you thought it was a little on the cool side, you weren't wrong. Toronto hasn't hit 20 degrees yet this year. In fact, we haven't hit 20 degrees in Toronto since October 19th. Everybody around us has, but you know, the proximity to the lake sometimes will keep those temperatures a little bit cooler. And it doesn't look like we're looking at a 20-degree day for quite a while still. Now, will we break a record? The latest it has ever happened was May 19th, way back in 1978. It's possible. Now, temperatures through the overnight are cool. We're looking at frost warnings around the Niagara region. A cool start to the day as well, but lots of sunshine, and I can't wait to get into the rest of the forecast coming up.
All right, looking forward to it. Thanks so much, Kim.
No problem.
The Toronto Raptors may be out of the postseason, but the playoffs are just about to begin for another of Toronto's beloved sports teams. The Leafs wrapped up their regular season tonight with a win over the Boston Bruins and are headed into the playoffs on Monday. And we now know who they will be facing in that first round. Two-time defending Stanley Cup champions, Tampa Bay Lightning. Our Dale Manukduk has more.
A great 2021-2022 campaign for the Leafs. 115 points, second place in the Atlantic, third overall in the Eastern Conference. Up next, a date with the Bolts. Tampa Bay trying to become the first team in nearly 40 years to three-peat.
First thing that jumps out is the back-to-back Stanley Cups. Obviously, they understand how to play and how to win in the playoffs. And we're trying to figure that out. So, you know, as we go into this series, I think we know these guys well.
Toronto has been great all season long. The playoffs, however, are a different animal. And the Leafs' recent history there, not so good. They made 3 of the last 4 postseasons, all first-round exits, all Game 7 losses. Most recently to Montreal last year and to the Bruins in 2018 and 2019. Dave McCarthy, Leafs correspondent for NHL.com, says what makes this season's team different is the fact their best players, Auston Matthews and Mitch Marner, have been special all year long.
But let us make no mistake about it. If they lose again in the first round, we're going to learn from this, or, oh, they wanted it more. Those are no longer going to be acceptable excuses. Now it's essentially put up or shut up, right, at this time in their careers. So they're out of excuses, but I do think they've got a wealth of knowledge now about what it takes at this time of the year. But again, both of those guys are going to be facing tremendous pressure to deliver the Leafs a playoff round victory, specifically Mitch Marner.
Most fans tonight wanted Toronto to play Boston. Nevertheless, there's a lot of excitement amongst fans. They're fired up for playoff hockey.
Go Leafs, go! Woo!
I'm so excited. They're going to get past round 2. Guarantee.
Mitch is going to step up this year.
Go Leafs, go!
Postseason puck drops on Monday. Leafs will host Game 1 at Scotiabank Arena. Dale Manukduk, CBC News, Toronto.
Welcome back. Ontario's Liberal Party is promising a tax break on any prepared foods under $20, including restaurant meals. It would mean the province's wealthiest would foot the bill. Lorena Redekop has the details.
The Ontario Liberals want to remove the provincial portion of the HST from prepared foods, meaning you'd pay 8% less for items like grocery store rotisserie chickens, drinks, fast food, and restaurant meals, as long as it's less than $20.
The exemption right now stops at $4. We're going to raise that up to $20. And again, that's going to make life so much more affordable for people in this province of ours.
He expects it would cost the government around $500 million. To pay for it, people earning at least $500,000 a year would face a 2% income tax hike. Large corporations earning at least $1 billion would pay an extra 1%.
And if you look at the data in Ontario, the most wealthiest don't pay that much if you compare to other provinces. The tax rate is it's among one of the lowest.
This political scientist says the risk is that it could be seen as trying to buy votes from the middle class. But given inflation and higher food costs, she says the timing could also work.
It's the first time that I see the Liberals saying we will tax the wealthiest. We saw that at the federal level with Justin Trudeau, and it was popular.
The NDP leader says it's the former Liberal government that first added the HST for all prepared food items $4 and up.
That was a Liberal decision that at the time we didn't support. We can't trust the Liberals to do the right thing in the first place, and we've seen them hurt families over their 15 years in office.
The Progressive Conservatives responded in a statement giving a list of tax increases under the previous Liberal government and showing times Liberals voted against their government's tax cuts. It's clear the election campaign is already on. The official call is expected to come next week. Lorenda Radicomp, CBC News, Toronto.
NDP leader Andrea Horvath is reacting to the Ford government's budget today, slamming the party for what she calls cuts to education and health care.
They focused on, making sure that their big buddies, their buddies are going to be able to get what they need with big boondoggles that are going to cost billions of dollars.
The bulk of the $198 billion budget will go to aging infrastructures such as highways, transit, and hospitals. Horvath, however, says it doesn't focus enough on investing in healthcare workers. She says her party's platform commits to funding hospitals differently and takes the aging population into account. The Greens announcing another part of their platform today, now this one focusing on the environment and the party's plans to electrify transportation.
Under our plan, we will make it more affordable to drive and bike electric by offering Ontarians incentives up to $10,000 for the purchase of a new electric vehicle and $1,000 for the purchase of an electric bike or used electric vehicle.
The Greens' EV incentive is similar to a plan from the previous Liberal government that offered incentives of $5,000 to $14,000. That was canceled by the Conservatives when they came into power 4 years ago. Schreiner adds his party will also make charging infrastructure for electric vehicles more accessible and is committed to adding 4,000 electric buses, including all GO Transit buses, in the province. Residents living near High Park in the city's West End may have noticed the smell of smoke in the air today.
What we're doing here today is setting a controlled fire that will help to burn off, help to control the invasive species, the cool season grasses that we don't want as part of this ecosystem, and will help to rejuvenate the warm season grasses, the tall grasses, prairie grasses, and help to restore the oaks as well.
These prescribed burns consume dried leaves, twigs, and grass stems, but they don't harm larger trees. The city has been doing these burns in High Park for almost 2 decades. It's part of the long-term management plan to protect and sustain rare black oak woodlands and savannas. All right, let's go back to the Weather Network's Kim McDonald now with a more detailed look at your forecast. And Kim, a cool start to the morning tomorrow, but another sunny day on tap. No complaints there.
Yes, get out while you can. Sunday's a little bit on the soggy side. Saturday will definitely be the better day of the weekend. This is just an almanac to show you what's normal. So 14 degrees, that's where we should be, 15 around there. 26.7 is the record. That's the warmest we've ever seen on this date back in 1941. But this is what I like, the 8:18 p.m. sunset. Yeah, the days are getting a lot longer. We've been in a weather pattern where we've been benefiting. So it's a blocking pattern. There's the low pressure over Atlantic Canada. There's the ridge of high pressure over the Great Lakes. And that's why we've been enjoying these days of dry weather and sunshine. Saturday, another day just like that. Put on the sunscreen. Sun's still strong this time of year. The last day of April looking good. But here comes Sunday. The warm front moves in and we're looking at a few showers late in the day. The first part of the day should be very dry. I know there's a lot going on this weekend. People heading down to BMO Field for the TFC game on Saturday afternoon. That's at 3. The Jays are playing at 3 as well. Here comes the showers on Sunday. Now, first part of the day, as I mentioned, it should be fine. It's the afternoon that we're going to get that rain. So daytime highs around 14 on Saturday afternoon. That's a beautiful day. couple of clouds in the sky, but nothing to worry about. And then for your Saturday evening, get out, enjoy. Temperatures are in the single digits, so jackets, yes, but still quite pleasant. We're looking at daytime highs on Sunday, a little bit cooler, and that's only because we have the rain showers moving in. And I want to show you our sunshine. This is the daylight that we're going to get over the next few days. 11 hours of sunlight Friday, and then again on Saturday, and then next week, well, not so much sunlight, but we're still looking at a pretty decent forecast. Temperatures are in the double digits. I've changed my winter tires, and if I've done it, that means you can do it too. You can count on me. I'm telling you, we're not getting cool enough for snow again.
Good to hear. Thanks so much, Kim.
22,001 today, at an increasingly odd total, your 19-day total of $460,184.
What more is there to say about Matea Roach, the 23-year-old Toronto Tudor, scoring her 19th win on Jeopardy tonight, inching her way higher on the ladder of the show's most successful contestants. Roach has the weekend off, but she will return on Monday. If she wins that game, she will be in a tie for the 5th most consecutive wins in the game's history. Just incredible. And finally tonight, staff at the Bronx Zoo in New York are jumping for joy. Their latest arrival has made its first public appearance. The baby tree kangaroo has poked its head out its mother's pouch for the first time. Now, it is the first of its kind born at the Bronx Zoo in 14 years. The baby, known as a Joey, will spend about 7 months in its mother's pouch, occasionally leaving it to explore its environment. The rare tree kangaroo is native to Papua New Guinea and is considered endangered. It's estimated there are only about 2,500 of the animals living in the wild. And that is our show for you tonight and for the week. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, you can get caught up anytime. Just head to cbc.ca/Toronto. Shannon Martin has your next local newscast tomorrow at 6, and I will see you back here on Monday. Have a great weekend.